Coming up on Network Africa, Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe visits South Africa for the biannual National Commission Conference. And two Ugandan opposition MPs' homes get hit by explosives. Plus, the University of Nairobi is closed down following a recent unrest. Hello everyone, I am BC at Debayo. Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe is in South Africa for the annual binational commission meeting between both countries. This comes about 2 months after the controversy surrounding his wife's alleged assault on a young South African woman. It's the second edition of the meeting, and the two countries today signed 5 agreements to foster their relations. South Africa is Zimbabwe's biggest trade partner, with trade both ways reaching up to billions of rands. And the family of South African athlete Oscar Pistorius is threatening to take legal action against the makers of a new film about him. The movie, called Blade Runner Killer, is due to be released in the U.S. next month and centers around the murder trial of the Olympian. The film recreates some of the events around Ms. Steenkamp's killing on Valentine's Day in 2013. During the trial, Pistorius told the court that he killed Ms. Steenkamp in self-defense after mistaking her for a robber. The court found that his actions had been negligent, irrespective of whom he had thought he was shooting. Carl Pistorius, the athlete's brother, in a tweet called the film a gross misrepresentation of the truth. Meanwhile, the Steenkamp's family have denied any prior knowledge of the film, as they were neither approached nor participated in the endorsement of the film. The double amputee is currently in jail for killing his girlfriend, model River Steenkamp. And two Ugandan opposition MPs, Bobby Wine and Alan Sewanya's homes have been hit by explosives. The MPs say explosions were thrown over their fences and they were heard at different times between midnight and 1 a.m. The legislators were allegedly opposed to scrapping the presidential age limit, thereby extending President Yoweri Museveni's more than 31 years in power. Last week, an attack was reported on the home of another opposition MP, Moses Kibante, who represents Rubaga North. The 3 MPs have been at the forefront of a fierce fight against the motion currently before Parliament that seeks to remove the presidential age limit of 75, a move that could allow President Yoweri Museveni to stand again. However, government spokesperson Ofonso Opondo has absolved the government of complicity, describing the incident as tactics to frame the present administration. And elsewhere, the University of Nairobi, Kenya, has been closed with immediate effect following security concerns after the recent protests by students. Students have been asked to vacate the halls of residence with immediate effect. At least 26 people were injured last Thursday when police raided lecture halls and hostels to stop the students from protesting. The protests were sparked by the arrest of MP Paul Ongili, who's been accused of insulting President Uhuru Kenyatta. And still in education matters, but back here in Nigeria, the governor of Ogun State, Bikole Amosu, has assured students of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic that the current upgrade of the institution to a university will not affect the smooth running of the institution. He gave the assurance while addressing students of the institution during a peaceful protest to his office in Abeokuta, the state capital.
Members of the National Association of Nigerian Students Ogun State chapter, heavily guarded by security operatives, marching through the streets of Abeokuta, the state capital. Under the watchful eyes of the security operatives, they moved to the governor's office, armed with placards with different bold inscriptions to express their grievances, to protest the recent upgrade of the state-owned polytechnic to a university and the state government's decision to establish a new polytechnic.
The fate of our prospective students that have definitely written JAMB of this year before that school was established and or upgraded to the university. what is their fate. Because we have many ND students, prospective ND students that have definitely applied for that school, and we have many HND students that have definitely applied for that school. What is their fate?
The state governor, however, took time to explain the steps being taken to address some of the knotty issues agitating the minds of the students.
We have said, all of you that are in Abeokuta now, you will go through your course the normal way. We must continue to develop, and that is what we are doing. That's why we are doing it. None of you will be affected.
As to the fate of the current lecturers of the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, the governor has this to say.
If your lecturers, if they said they don't want, then we will sort them out. The reason is this: we've told them, those that are in Polytechnic now, they will still be there until when you finish your courses. If you are qualified to teach in a university, courses that will be rendered there, some of them are not being taught now. So they cannot say they want to transmit immediately. No, it will not happen. But for all of you that are in Abeokuta now, nobody is disturbing you, you will be there.
Although the state government continues to maintain its resolve to improve the education sector through adequate infrastructure development, observers are hoping that all issues raised by the students and staff of the institution are amicably resolved to ensure a successful takeoff of academic activities in both institutions.